How you doing, guys? I'm Trenton Sanderson, and you are on the infamous Living Realm Network. What's right for you versus what's wrong for you. I came across some conversations this weekend with some friends of mine, and we were talking about all the, right things that were going on in that person's life. And when you're talking about stuff like that, you also have to talk about all the wrong things. I was talking to a very good friend of mine, and they were telling their story about their life and all the great things that were happening, while at the same time giving me the downside of their life and why they feel like they're in bad situations. And we just kind of mingled and had a conversation with each other, just like two people supposed to do. I have my own interpretation and opinion about how to know what's right for you versus what's wrong for you. So if you like it, put it in your pocket, run away. I never told you, it's yours to keep. Stay tuned into the Living Room Network every single day. New videos every single day, guys. That's why you should subscribe. If you don't like it, just pick up on the next insight, and let's continue to make ourselves better, other people's lives better, and the world a better place. So if you are like me, if you are a universal guy, meaning you look at things from a much higher perspective, like you're not so quick to just judge things off of your ego. Judging things off of your ego right away may be very detrimental to your life, because you're not looking at things from a holistic point of view. I met a guy the other night, and he was an actor, a very good friend of mine, and he was like, well, explain, what do you do? And I said, well, my job is to get people to understand life from a holistic perspective, which is from a universal perspective. From a perspective of what, this is the right thing to do based on what will affect everybody around me, or what will affect humanity as a whole. You can go through life and make selfish decisions all you want. To each his own. Now, I'm not telling you to change who you are or anything like that. To each his own. But if you want to be a humanitarian, or if you want to make the best decision for all, for yourself, for others, for family, whether it be for your business clients, whether it be for people that you volunteer for, whoever the people may be, you always want to make sure you make the best decisions. For instance, if you plan on quitting a job, now you can be like your ego, or some people are in their ego and they just be like, what? They just walk in the job. They don't let the job know that they're about to leave. They don't put in no 2-week notice because they mad. You understand? They don't really like the job. They don't like the boss. They don't like the people. So they so selfish. They walk in and say, what? I quit. Or when the boss makes them mad on that one particular day, they just walk out the door. Now, see, what a universal person would do in that situation is they would realize that their boss needs them until the end of the shift. You see what I'm saying? This is a universal holistic perspective. They're thinking about, how it will affect humanity as a whole. Because believe it or not, your job, the job that you work at, no matter what it is that you do, it is a part of helping out humanity. If you don't go to work, because you don't want to go to work, you are letting down the world around you, because the world needs everything to help it function. All these companies that are building, being built up, and companies that you work at and stuff like that, it don't do nothing but put back into humanity. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to think of this stuff from a holistic point of view. If you think of stuff from a holistic point of view, you will go to your work job and you will be happy to work, because you're supporting mankind. You're supporting people. These aren't just people who buy from your company. We are mankind. We buy from your company because we have a life too. Just like when you go home and you expect companies to be open to help you, you would want them to be open so that they can help you too. So we got to help each other out. So once again, like, you can be an egotistical person and just do what you want to do, or you can just say, what, yeah, my boss has a shift to run, and I need to make sure that I'm here to help that person run this shift rather than just leave out. You understand what I'm saying? I need to put in this 2-week notice and get them a heads up so that they can put somebody, or have somebody to fill in my spot, because we don't want them to be lacking, the help, if I just leave. And then that way, then if that happens, it's going to put pressure on all the other people in here who didn't You know, they didn't sign up for that. You know, they didn't expect you to do that. It wasn't their fault that you're mad. You know, so you got to think of things from a universal point of view, from a holistic point of view. So what's right for you versus what's wrong for you. Many times, when something is wrong for you, you will be given all the signs. You know, meaning you will have a boat to come by and say, hey, get on the boat, let's go. You know, it's about to be a flood. But you have a lot of people who are stuck in their egotistical mind. Like, for instance, when the newsman gets on the telecast and he says it's going to be a hurricane, you still got some people that's not going to leave the area because they've been there for 200, 300 years. They're going to say, no, I'm going to stay here because this is my house. This is where I live. This is where I grew up. And I'm not going to stay here. And then after the hurricane done passed by, they be the person that's dead. You know why? Because the boat came by and said, hop on. You know, hop on. Hop on. This ship is about to sink. This is the lifeboat. Hop on now. Do it now. But like I said, there are a lot of people who ignore that call. You know, so you know when you're doing the wrong things, or when you're in a wrong situation, you will be aided by things around you that will, you know, give you a hand. It's like a hand reaching into the water trying to save you because they know this is gonna be your last breath. You know, so you know, whether you're in relationships, you know, whether you at, you know, your job and you're trying to find another job, you're at this job that you're complaining about, but this one job calls you, but you don't take it. You're like, no, it has too many stipulations. It has too many cons. You know, it doesn't have enough pros for me. You know, they cutting me $1. You know, and I don't want to be cut down $1, blah, blah, blah. But you still at the job where you mad when you should have just took that job to just cut you down $1 and just say, you know what, hey, I can take a pay cut. It's a $1 pay cut. It's better to be at this job than at this job, you know. Or if you're in a relationship, you know, and you just talking to this special guy one night, this special guy you meet one night, you know, and he really likes you, and if you really like him, and you're in a bad relationship with your boyfriend already, you know what I'm saying? He's actually physically abusing you, you know, and you meet this guy that night, and then you just let it go and just be like, well, it was nice to meet you. What's your name? Ron. Okay, well, yeah, nice to meet you. And you just leave. You don't take his number down. You don't get his email or nothing. And then you go back to the miserable relationship that you were in that same night and continue to get physically abused, and life goes on. See, when you're in bad situations, there will always be something to come into your life to give you a hand. You know, sometimes it just comes how it comes. The universe is so mysterious and meticulous and peculiar. You know, it'll always give you what you need at the right time. How do you know that you're in the right situation? It's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. Sometimes you'll be in circumstances and situations where you might not have a lifeboat come by. You know, you've done all you can to leave that job, but you just can't get out that job because you know why? The universe is telling you, stay there. It is not time to leave yet. Now you may be saying, and people may be telling you, just be patient. Yes, just, you know, give it some time. You may be even thinking, you know what, I just need to go harder to find another job. I just need to go harder. But the truth of the reality is, when we're talking about reality, remember, we're talking about a universal perspective. We're talking about a holistic perspective. The truth of the matter is that the universe is not ready for you to move on yet. God has not aligned up the next session for you. You understand what I'm saying? The next season for you is not here yet. You know what I mean? You can prepare for the summer all you want, but summer ain't gonna come to a certain moment in time, in space. You know what I mean? And this is the reality of the situation. So you'll always know that you are doing the right thing when there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. Something just wants you to stay in this position for a little bit longer. And if you can hold out just a little bit longer, you might see the end of the tunnel. See, most of the times when, you know, we are in the right situations, no, put it like this. I'm gonna switch it up for you. I'm gonna go back to the negative point of view. Most of the time when we're in the wrong situations, you know, we give up. You know, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna give you an example. You going down a tunnel. It's dark, right? It's a very dark tunnel, right? You know, you hear voices in that tunnel saying, keep going, keep going, keep going. You know what I'm saying? The end is almost here. The end is almost here. And so what you do is say, I'm tired of walking. I don't even think I can walk no more. I'm getting scared. I think I'm gonna turn back. And the voices is like, keep going, keep going, keep going. But then you get to a point where you just start closing your ears, like, like, I don't want to hear nobody no more. I'm just gonna just do me. I'm gonna focus on me. And then, and all in focusing on you, what you do, you turn back and start walking the opposite way. When you fail to realize that you were like 2 feet away from the end of the tunnel. You couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel until you actually made it through the end of the tunnel. That's how life works. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're in a bad situation. Sometimes you're in a dark situation. Sometimes you're in a negative situation. And the universe itself around you is saying, hey, hold on, just wait. Be patient. I'm working for you, but you just got to be patient with me. I'm gonna tell you something about the universe, guys, that I learned a long time ago, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've been following the move of how the universe works for a long time, guys. That's why I can talk about this on an everyday basis, because I live this life. I live this life, and one thing I can tell you is that the universe always responds to your most wanted need. It just don't work in the time that you want it to. You have to be very, very patient in how the universe works. You may be dealing with a lot of critical people around you. You may be dealing with, like I said, your job, whatever the case may be. You're going to be dealing with this thing until it's the right time for you to actually move on. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of it. Like when you wake up in the morning, and the sun comes up, right? The sun comes up, right? It takes hours after hours after hours after hours before the sun goes down. You don't even, it moves so slow. The world rotates so slow that we're actually rotating, but you don't even feel it. You don't even notice it. But for somehow the sun went down. You don't notice that like that when you're actually living life, do you? But when you think about it, it's really true, right? We didn't see the sun go down, right? We didn't see the moon come up, but somehow every day goes by and we get through the day and we don't even realize how the world rotates every day. We're moving right now. The seasons change every certain times of the year. So it's the same thing with your life. You ain't gonna see it. You ain't gonna be able to see the world rotate in your life. It's working to your advantage. Everything that you want to happen for yourself is already in play. It's already working. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. But just like the world rotates, you ain't gonna see it. It ain't nothing you can see with your 2 eyes and say, hey, it's happening. Oh, there it goes. There goes my blessing. There goes my exit door. You're not gonna see it. It's gonna be just like how the world rotates. Very, very slow. But the sun will go down and the sun definitely will come up. That's how you know what's to do, what to do from right versus what's wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to send this, and I hope this message resonated with you guys. This is the infamous Living Room Network. New videos every single day. We're the Realm team. We're growing. We're becoming more prosperous every single day. Why? Because we're trying to make ourselves better, other people's lives better, and the world a better place. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace.